discourse between Robert Griffin III and Ryan Clark has taken another level to it. I dropped a video earlier Tuesday and talked about how Ryan Clark is just simping for Angel Reese while he's disrespecting Robert Griffin III, speaking about the man's family, speaking about the man's wife, giving his opinion on things he actually has no knowledge of, while acting holier than thou. He turned something that was a commentary about what Robert Griffin III viewed as a characteristic of Angel Reese based on what he saw her do and say in basketball when it came to Caitlin Clark. He said he believes from what he's seeing that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. That is his right to say that. He is entitled to say what he feels. The same way Ryan Clark is entitled to respond in reference to disagree with that. But where Ryan Clark chose to go, took it to a level of personal. It was no longer a conversation or a discussion based on an opinion on basketball players. For some reason, there is this thought process for which Ryan Clark feels that Robert Griffin III saying he thinks that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark based on one, two, three, four, five, six different things that he proves as uses as evidence to substantiate his belief. Ryan Clark then comes back and starts talking about how Robert Griffin III can't possibly know what it is, the life of the black woman, what the plight of the black woman is, forgetting the fact that I don't know because he's married to a white woman, forgetting the fact that Robert Griffin III has a mother, has a sister, and also has children who are girls who are black women in society or will become black women in society. So Ryan Clark passes on all these judgments on Robert Griffin III's personal life. But Ryan Clark exposed himself. And we'll talk about that here. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. We're talking facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. Let me know your thoughts on what I say in this video. I give you my feelings based on the facts that are presented to me. Absolutely. That's my feeling. Do I agree with Robert Griffin III? Yeah, I do. Do I also think Caitlin Clark doesn't care for or hates Angel Reese? Yeah, I do. And in neither case does that mean that that is denigrating of either person. I'm not disrespecting, I'm not insulting, I'm not belittling either person. It is perfectly normal for people to dislike each other. I would venture to guess that most Cubans born in Cuba hated Fidel Castro if they were living there before Castro took over and then were stuck living there when he was in power. Would that be a wrong feeling to have? Would that be denigrating for them to hate Fidel Castro? Would it be denigrating for a Jewish person to hate Adolf Hitler? I mean, and the Nazis. Would that be a denigrating comment? If I said, yeah, Jewish people hate Adolf Hitler and hate the Nazis, would that be denigrating Jewish folks? I doubt it. Would it be denigrating to say that black folks hate the KKK? Not one bit. But for some reason, Robert Griffin III's opinion of Angel Reese and his thought process and his belief that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark based on multiple instances of hostility and verbal animosity, which are in your face. You can deny them, they're there. That's a problem for Ryan Clark because Robert Griffin III has not lived the black experience. He's not black enough for Ryan Clark. He's got a white wife. That's a problem for Ryan Clark. So Robert Griffin III dropped this video today for which I'll play. And then Ryan Clark responded. Ryan Clark's response is what exposed him. And we'll play that. And we have a couple of other things to add along to it that also expose Ryan Clark because he's a fraud. Let's talk about it. This was Robert Griffin III's response to Ryan Clark's comments in response to his comments about Angel Reese.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy RG3, and I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of conversations about my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, which was purely based in basketball. But I think all of you know there's a line in life that you just simply don't cross. Wives and children are always off limits, and Ryan Clark has sprinted past that line. Ryan Clark didn't like my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And that's fine. It's okay. It's part of the game. Sports media, I'm going to have an opinion. This person might not agree with it. That person might not agree with it. But what you don't do is turn around and personally attack me and my family just because you don't agree with a sports opinion that is purely based off the sport. I didn't make it personal. But what that really shows is just how low of a person Ryan Clark is. But Ryan, you crossed the line, man. You made it personal and some. I really believe there should be no space in sports media for personal attacks. I've said it before, but certainly personal attacks against wife and children have always been off limits. Ryan, you attacked me and my family in a public forum on a level that shows just how low of a human being you are. You can disagree with me all you want, challenge my takes, but keep my family and my wife out of it. That's a boundary that should always be respected, man. Always. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family because he disagreed with my sports opinion is a bad look for ESPN. It's cowardly, it's spineless, and it's weak. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family. Personally, because he disagreed with my sports opinion is a bad look for him as a man. I hope you get the help you need, brother.
So that was RG3's response to Ryan Clark. And now we will show you Ryan Clark's tweet back at RG3. So this is what Ryan Clark had to say. Ryan Clark says, bruh, you know what it is with me and you. I saved you the entire season on Monday Night Football. I urged people to let you be you. No matter how corny, how bad a teammate you were, I had your back. What did you do? Invite someone on your show you know I don't fool with to ask questions about me and then hit me weeks later to tell me you're going to challenge one of my takes. You're a phony, bro. One of the worst teammates I ever had, both on the field and in TV. You got to do what you got to do. I didn't attack your wife. I spoke on what you do on social media and TV. Like I said, I met your wife, and she seemed like a lovely lady that was worth more than the color of her skin. You be good, bro. Bruh. So you've now seen both of those comments. My initial response to Ryan Clark is that you just exposed yourself. His first line exposes that this is not, this has nothing to do with Angel Reese. This has nothing to do with Robert Griffin III's comments on Angel Reese. Absolutely zero, in fact. In fact, what it actually shows is that Ryan Clark has a personal beef with RG3. That's what this tweet shows. This X message shows. Bruh, you know what it is with me and you? I saved you the entire season on Monday Night Football. I urge people to let you be you. Ryan Clark is acting like he did Robert Griffin III some type of favor. He's acting like he's something really, really important in TV. He then calls him corny. He then says he's the worst teammate he's ever had, both on the field and in TV. This is not anything to do with Angel Reese. This is personal beef. This is a personal vendetta. What did you do? You invited someone on your show you know I don't fool with to ask questions about me and then hit me weeks later to tell me you're going to challenge one of my takes. Now, I don't know who he invited to his show. I'm going to presume and assume, which makes me potentially an ass because I'm assuming, but I don't know. The only person that I know that Ryan Clark has been very negative about publicly is Antonio Brown. He has voiced so many times over and over again he does not care for Antonio Brown, maybe even hates him. He sure speaks very, very negatively about him. So I can presume, based on Ryan Clark's previous commentary and the fact that they got into a fight or almost got into a fight, that when they were playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that Ryan Clark doesn't care for Antonio Brown, that he might hate him. It is quite possible. He has been very vocally critical, very critical vocally about Antonio Brown. I'm guessing that's who he's talking about. Because then if there's another one, then I don't know. That said, whoever it is, if it's Antonio Brown or if it's somebody else, he has a podcast. He can invite whoever he wants to his podcast. This sounds like some ultra feminine shit for which a woman dates a man, and now because and her best friend dates a man, and now because the best friend and the man, just in general, this is just general, best friend and the man break up, now the woman and her man, the man can no longer talk to the man who was dating the other woman, even though they became very close friends over the years, because that would be not right, because the women are friends and you met that man because of those women. Or in reverse, in another situation, you have a woman who's dating a man, and now you have a woman who is friends with said man, and now said woman who's dating that man break up. Now you were friends with the woman who's friends with the man, and I'm just trying to obviously make this simple. You're friends with the woman who's friends with the man and who's dating that other woman. You became friends with that other woman because of your friend who was friends with the man. So now you can't be friends with the woman as a woman. This is the type of petty femme shit I'm talking about. So because you don't fuck with somebody, I can't fuck with them. Is that what Ryan Clark is sitting here trying to say? Because you're friends with XYZ person, I can't be friends with XYZ person? What is this? Was Robert Griffin III your bestie or something? I highly doubt it, because you had no problem here calling him the worst teammate. Mind you, Robert Griffin III blew his ACL out for his team, kept playing on a torn ACL. What in the hell are you talking about? In order for his team to win and go to the playoffs and play in the playoffs, like, this is what that man gave up of himself for his team, yet you call him the worst teammate you've ever had? Wow. That's bananas. That's crazy. And you did speak on his wife. You brought his wife into a conversation that had zero to do with his wife. In fact, you questioned him as a father. Man, remember that LeBron James thing? Stephen A. Smith questioned LeBron as a father, on his thing. You kind of question him as a father because you claim that he's never had conversations in his house about the experience and the plight of the black woman, despite the fact he has two black daughters. You also notice on Robert Griffin, the shirt sweater he was wearing, a name there was Reese. One of his kids' names is Reese. Ain't that something? But yeah, so you question him, and you may not think you did, but you did. You question him as a father. You question him as a husband. You question how he treats his wife. You say that he because he calls his wife a tall glass of milk or whatever, and I love milk or whatever. That's a problem for you. It's none of your fucking business, my guy. It's none of your business. So you question multiple things about that man's relationship with him, his family, his wife, his children, how he parents, how he leads his household, because he said that he thinks that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. My guy, you don't know me from a can of paint. But I can tell you this as a man, you cross lines that most men wouldn't take. They wouldn't take it. Robert Griffin III is better than me. Because if you start speaking about my wife, we're going to have serious issues. Again, I don't know you from a can of paint, but you walk around with your chest puffed out like you know everything. I don't know when it was that you decided that you were going to be this crusader who's made everything racial. Yes, you're a black man in America. Gotcha. I can never be that. I can never walk in your shoes. I can never walk in your skin. The same way you can never walk in the life of Robert Griffin III because you aren't him. And you can never walk in the life of Antonio Brown because you're not him. You don't know what they experienced growing up. You don't know what they went through. They don't know what trials and tribulations they may have had to overcome. In fact, Robert Griffin III has dealt with years of having to overcome shit that was said about him by media members that still are in existence today, Rob Parker and Stephen A. Smith, right? But let's take a look at this because you seem to have an issue with the fact that he's married to a white woman. Damn. This came up from Le'Veon Bell. This is from Le'Veon Bell. I don't get Ryan Clark's problem. He makes comments about RG3 having a white wife. Like he didn't have a kid with a white woman. I just don't get it. What is really his issue? We already know it's personal. This isn't about the wife. This is about him trying to attack him because he has a personal beef with Robert Griffin III. He exposed himself. So Ryan Clark, who acts like the savior of black women, has a child from a white woman. Wow. I didn't say it. Le'Veon Bell did. Ain't that something? Did you offend black women by having a child with a white woman, Ryan Clark? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. So Le'Veon Bell said this. Marcellus Wiley confirmed this. Heck, even Ryan Clark said it himself back in 2024. I just saw a video on that. So all that said, and you are commenting about this man's wife. So, I mean, it's just ironic that, and anyone not understand the point, because I see a lot of comments from people where they're saying he didn't speak. He said he has a problem with how he speaks about his wife more as a tall glass of milk. Again, you're crossing the line. Imagine yourself a man and you have a wife or a significant other, significant other, because a lot of men take their significant others just as seriously as their wives. Some men don't believe in marriage and think that being in a relationship is just the same. I say it's not, but some people believe that. You speak about a man's spouse. Go to your friend. Go to one of your close friends. Forget about it. Don't go to someone you don't know. Go to one of your close friends, and you're a man, and talk to your friend about his wife and say something that doesn't come across as positive. How dare you refer to me and comment on my relationship with my wife in comments that I make about her being a tall glass of milk? If that's what he says, you don't know what their relationship is, guy. I guarantee you'll probably have a problem with your friend. Your friend will probably have a problem with you. Who the hell do you think you are? Ryan Clark has become very, very bold in the things that he says. He thinks that he can say whatever he wants because he just signed a new deal with ESPN. So he's a lot more comfortable. Because a year ago, February of 2024, he was begging to keep his job. They weren't going to pay him what he wanted. And then he left for like a week or two. And then he came back because he got, I guess, close enough to what he wanted because there's no way he got what he wanted because there was no reason to keep him for that money. If they weren't going to sign him before that for what he wanted, then they weren't going to sign him. He obviously took less money. Obviously, I'm just guessing. It's my belief because he's replaceable. Most of the sports former jocks, the jocks are replaceable by other jocks. They don't have the education for the position. They're not trained broadcasters. Some speak better than others, and that puts them in positions. Like if you look at Emmitt Smith, he struggled greatly in that role. Ryan Clark is eloquent in speech. He absolutely Marcellus Wiley, eloquent. Emmanuel Acho, eloquent. So you are replaceable, man. But now he's comfortable because he's signed the deal. He's safe for probably 4 years. And he's doing the pivot, and the pivot's doing very, very well. Congratulations to him and Channing Crowder and Fred Taylor. Congrats to them. And now he feels like he's really emboldened to say whatever the fuck he thinks about whatever the fuck he feels. Doesn't matter what it is. He doesn't think he did something wrong. This is a personal beef. This is a personal beef. This is not about basketball. This is not about Angel Reese. This is about some beef he has over some silly interview that was done that was done by Robert Griffin III on a podcast. And I'll leave you with this. Actually, I may put a little bit more into it. I just want to also bring something up. I'll leave you with this right here. Well, this would be one of the things I leave you with. This is Le'Veon Bell speaking about 2 hours ago a situation with Ryan Clark. Let's continue. Let's continue to show the lunacy of the situation here. Share screen. This is Le'Veon Bell. Ryan Clark blocked me because I ran him over my rookie training camp. And me and AB made a video talking about it. Maybe that's why Ryan Clark is still mad at Antonio Brown. Or because I support the President of the United States. Regardless, Ryan Clark is sensitive. Real Clark 25 has blocked you. I mean, but let's play this.
I wanted Trump in office. So, like, maybe from my political view, because I wanted Trump in office, and I feel like Trump was the better fit guy to run the president more than Kamala Harris was. That's the only things that could have happened since October for him to block me on X. Because other than that, bro, it ain't like I be on Twitter harassing him or like just talking shit or doing none of this shit, bro. I just be minding my own business. Y'all know I be on X or I be on social media or doing, playing the game and shit. I literally be vibing with y'all and just playing the game and just be in my own world, bro. We're training, worried about fights, all type of shit. Like that's all I'll be worried about, bro. So those are the only two things I could have thought about. It's like, damn, you gonna block me from that shit? Like, damn, bro, that nigga sensitive. You sensitive, but it's like, all right, whatever, bro. I'm not really tripping, bro, because you wanted to block me, you block me. It is what it is. It's your page. If you don't want to, ain't like I ever tweeted at Ryan Clark. Trump.
I think it's clear as day that Ryan Clark is extremely sensitive. He holds on to things personally. And when he's given the opportunity to blast you, he will. Let's expect some type of response from Ryan Clark towards Le'Veon Bell and maybe even Marcellus Wiley. Because you exposed yourself with your comments in your tweet, which clearly indicate this has nothing to do with Angel Reese. Nothing. You just were looking for a reason. You were looking for it. You should have just done it. You shouldn't leave it to some ridiculous opinion on a basketball player and a situation off of a basketball court, because this is all based on what happened on a basketball court. It wasn't a personal attack on anybody. Saying someone hates somebody, who fucking cares? Like, this is so stupid. People actually find that to be disrespectful and denigrating. Ryan Clark used the word denigrated. He basically accused Robert Griffin III of denigrating black women by to prop up his own. He props up his wife by denigrating black women. What are you talking about? He has no relationship with fucking Angel Reese. Nothing. None. He's commenting on his own fucking platform. What do you want? What is your issue? We found out it's not about that. It's personal. It's personal. It's just that. So I want to share this video that Robert Griffin III did with Stephen A. Smith, where he talks about something that happened many, many years ago. We are now the year 2025. And this is something that he's carried with him for a number of years. And I'm going to play the video for you. And I want it to be, I'm playing this video in attachment with this topic because this is not the first time that RG3 has been questioned about who he is. Remember, Ryan Clark said RG3 hates himself. So, and that's the video I did yesterday. So let's play this video here.
Sure. And you were upset about me saying what I said about sports shows on TV should be about sports, not politics. So
because it was an hour after First Take did that exact thing.
So I'm going to be very direct with you.
Okay.
That tweet was not about ESPN. Wasn't about Mina Kimes. Stephen A., you were the spark plug for that tweet. You were right in assuming that tweet was about you. But it wasn't about what you said about Jackie Robinson. I listened.
But I wasn't saying it was about Jackie Robinson.
I didn't say you did. Hold on.
Okay.
I heard what you said about Jackie Robinson. You eloquently described why Jackie Robinson was so significant. I think all of us would agree that Jackie Robinson is an American hero. I think all of us would agree that Jackie Robinson is the epitome of how sports and politics intermingle. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
My issue, Stephen A., came, the spark plug for it was after 2 minutes of that, you went on a 5-minute monologue about challenging the president. I don't care who's in office. It doesn't matter who's in office. It became a political forum. Mm-hmm. And that was the issue for me. And what I want to use this example to tell you why it became an issue for me. All right.
Free. Sure.
13 years ago, Stephen A., on First Take, there was a conversation that happened on the show involving Rob Parker.
Rob Parker.
Yes,
sir.
You know exactly what conversation I'm talking about.
I know exactly what it was.
Rob Parker talked about, was I a brother? Was I a real brother? Was I really down for the cause? And you know what his point was about why he asked that question? Okay. It had nothing to do with sports. It had nothing to do with my performance on the field. Mm-hmm. It was because my fiance was white. Mm-hmm. It was because
Sounds familiar, huh? Sounds familiar. This guy has been dealing with black men on TV, questioning his blackness because his wife, and at the time back then, I guess his previous wife, because that was 2012, he's been married twice, was white. And again, it's about his wife, questioning his blackness. But let's continue. This is something this man's had to deal with for years from guys who think they're don't even know what it is. Because Rob Parker, to many people, you should know.
Because he thought I was a Republican. Mm-hmm. He made First Take in that moment a political forum for personal attacks and political conversations. Stephen A., that single conversation has followed me for 13 years of my professional career as an athlete, and also in the black community don't agree with me. What do? They start posting Rob Parker memes. You can't find a single instance of someone questioning my blackness before that conversation happened on First Take. Mm-hmm. Stephen A., that's why I feel sports shows on television should be about sports and not made political. Sports and politics always intertwine. What you said about Jackie Robinson wasn't making the show political. That's what you're supposed to talk about. But then removing it and turning it into a presidential campaign, or I want to debate these guys on this or that, to me was emblematic or representative of what I went through with Rob Parker. That stuff sticks. It's why, in my opinion, LeBron James is mad at you for questioning him as a father. When you said, as a father, I'm pleading with you, stop this. He wasn't mad about the Bronny criticism, in my opinion. I can't speak for LeBron, but I don't think he was mad about the Bronny criticism.
He was, but go ahead.
He might have been. He's dad, right? He's in the NBA. You have every right to go not after, but critique his basketball bona fides. But he might be upset because of the conversation about him being a father. Rob Parker and what he said on that show is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. You have such a big platform, my brother. You do. What you say sticks. So when I hear those types of things, and then I see the 8 minutes of just going at me for whatever reasons, it feels like, that's not what this is supposed to be about. Just what are your thoughts on that?
May I respond?
Yes, sir.
First of all, I appreciate you being open and candid as you have been, but especially with that last comment. Rob Parker and I go back over 30 years. I love him like a brother. You left a few things out.
Talk to me.
So let me help you out here. You picked up on what Rob Parker said. And the other people who were in Bristol, Connecticut at the desk with him when he said it. You left out a person by the name of Stephen A. Smith, who was on the screen via remote, who shut the conversation down. You left that out. That was me.
You did shut it down.
That was me who said, we are not going to sit here and talk about this man's private relationship with who he got the right to be with, whoever the hell he wants. Shut it down now. I wasn't the executive producer of First Take then.
I know.
Skip was the guy. Okay? And I shut it down instantly. That's number one. Number two, having said all of that, that was not a political conversation. That was Rob Parker's feeling about you as a black man, as you said, having a white fiance, being inappropriate in his comments, something he lost his job over. Contract wasn't renewed.
Correct.
And career was in flux, and virtually no one supported him because everyone was siding with you. You left that out. Number three, having said all of that, RG, at some point in time, you know, you are a grown-ass man. You're strong-willed, and the whole bit. You got to toughen up, bro. You got to get some alligator skin. The fact of the matter is that if they didn't find that excuse in the world of social media as it has advanced over the years, you know good and damn well if it wasn't that, it's going to be something else. You know good and damn well you didn't need Rob Parker to say that in order for people to come at you the second they saw your then fiance. They'd have said something. You know they would have. You know how people can be because they just got something to say. And anything to rattle your cage and to mess with you, they're going to do that, right?
Correct.
But here's the part about the whole thing when you say a platform and First Take. First of all, there were comments, not about you, but comments that touched on rails of social commentary.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Now it's going a little further. So what I wanted to show basically from this is that this is something that RG3 has been dealing with now for many years. It's something he's dealt with for many years. And now you got Ryan Clark going back there, talking about his personal, Robert Griffin III's personal relationships. Rob Parker, to many people, doesn't have, he's actually made fun of a lot from a lot of people I know. A lot of people I know make fun of Rob Parker. They look at him as kind of a puppet type of dude, a guy that's anti kind of, I mean, I've heard him, or there are people that think he's kind of anti the cause type of thing. I've always found him to be interesting and so forth, but consider the fact that it doesn't matter that he got fired. Who cares that he got fired over it? What matters is that it happened. What matters is that it was allowed to happen. Whether Stephen A. Smith shut it down or not, it was allowed to, it happened. And it had an impact on this man's professional football career, his personal life, and all that stuff. And here he has 13 years later, he has a guy, Ryan Clark, attacking him over a basketball opinion. Yes, you can sit here and say what you want. Angel Reese Caitlin Clark is a basketball opinion. It's not a personal attack for him to say, from what I saw there, I believe she hates her because of that, and that. That is an opinion. And Ryan Clark's response was to talk about a man and him not knowing the plight of a black woman because he's married to a white woman. And then proceeding to critique how he talks about his wife and calling her a tall glass of I love milk or whatever the hell nonsense that was. And now you got the video, the tweet now about how it really ain't even all about that. It's a personal beef. So y'all can let me know what you think in the comments. I hope y'all watch this entire video. It's 36 plus minutes. I appreciate y'all time on this, but this is an ugly situation, and I hope these men can actually come together and squash this nonsense because this stuff is petty and childish. People have opinions. People have opinions. I have opinions. People are more than welcome to say what they feel about my opinion. I don't care. It's my opinion. But what I'm not going to hear very clearly is I'm not going to hear verbal threats of violence against me, my family, or comments about my significant other on people's videos. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. We can debate, we can disagree, we can do all of those things. But making comments on videos about how this person will kick your ass, this person will beat 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 your ass, all that shit. I don't know who you think I am. I don't know who you think I am. If you think I'm some punk kid on the street, some chump, I'm damn near 50 years old. I am not a child. I don't look for fights. Too old for that shit. I'm a grown ass man. That's stupid. So when people say, "Oh, I'll beat your ass," bro, how old are you? Are we 22 years old? Or are we grown ass adults? You got a beef with me? You can debate me all day long. Period. I don't care. I got a platform. Anybody who wants to debate me is welcome to come on my platform. My email is in the description of every video I post. You are welcome to email me. You can reach me. You can probably get my phone number. It ain't that damn hard. It ain't that damn hard. But you can email me anytime. We can schedule for you to be on my platform and we can debate like grown ass adults. What we're not going to do is we're not going to threaten each other with trying to physically harm people because that is some bullshit. And we're not going to talk about people's spouses because that's some weak shit. So I understand how Robert Griffin III feels. I understand how Robert Griffin III feels. So let's grow up. Let's act like adults. And let's start respecting each other as humans. You have an opinion. You're entitled. I have an opinion. I'm entitled. I'm going to give my opinion. And I don't give a fuck what you think. But again, the threats of violence, this is fucking YouTube. It's a podcast. That's all I got. Y'all leave y'all thoughts in the comments. You like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think. Greatly appreciate y'all. And again, let's be better, people. Come on now.